So there's not a conflict right now.
There is a conflict right now.
There is a conflict.
I can't know. I can't look at it. I don't want to look at it. I need somebody else to.
So.
Role, I don't know that I necessarily need to be that person. If there was another person in the courthouse or on the board that would field those calls, if that would make Brandon's job easier and be that point of contact for him.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
think it would.
You could give the constituents my number. They could call me directly if they have issues. I honestly don't care.
Mr. Chairman, maybe that's an idea.
I mean, seriously, they can have my number. I don't care.
So let's explore that just for a second.
Okay.
So perhaps it's easy for, that's one way to approach this. That you put, like when you go into, and I'm not saying this, but when you go into McDonald's, it says if you have a problem with this bathroom,
Contact this, yeah.
So why can't we have a note that says if you have a problem, an issue with XYZ, that this phone number is sitting on both doors or wherever, annex door, just put a sign that says has my phone number. And that way it is contacted to you. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever if you don't have an issue.
I don't.
So that might...
It scares it. It scares it.
Can I make maybe a possible recommendation on giving him a county issued phone?
It is. I have a county phone.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not giving my personal.
I would just. I didn't know
Two of them.
Sorry, I didn't know that, but I just wanted to make sure that was.
Well, we appreciate your input because that would be, I agree with you fully.
Because,
Yeah, I think that's a good start, man. If Brandon's copacetic for that, I'm all for it. Let's try something different. And
perhaps, Mr. Chairman, we can also say that. Did you see the sign? Did you give him, drop him a line?
Did you call me and ask me what was
Text
going on?
him?
yeah, and I think it's fair for him. That person, their emergency, they might understand, is secondary to whatever Brandon is dealing with at that point in time. So,
No more calls about that.
Or I can directly handle it.
and you may not know about. There might be something going on that you might be busy
I may
with
have missed
something.
something.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Chairman, let's try that. If we can't let's put it up.
Maybe you can put it on the website if you're okay with that. If you would contact him, get something on the website. Yes, ma'am.
I'll be his contact if you want me to. I might be sorry that I did that, but my question is though, what will he be calling? Will you be calling me things to do? I mean,
See, that's what.
As far as things needing to be done, can't people email you or they're?
But this is more like direct, immediate response they're wanting. Like if the stairs are icy over there, I understand that. I mean, they should be able to call me and say, "Hey, this is messed up. Sorry, I haven't approached it yet. I will get it fixed right now." Longer term projects, yeah, I guess an email would be better because I'm not going to be able to resolve bigger projects
I mean,
in an instant.
if Becky has something she'd like you to do, or
Oh, these guys
Susie
can ask me
does.
anytime, and like if they need me to move a table or need me to do stuff,
so that's okay.
I'm more than willing, and I respond quickly. Becky asked me to change the light bulb. I'm up here changing the light bulb as soon as I'm back.
So that's not a problem.
No.
Okay.
No. It's my problem was you're trying to give me a whole task that nobody really has planned out yet. There's no budget for me to order stuff. Okay, so if you're telling me to reach into somebody else's budget to order their stuff, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I also use Hilliard, which is a national corporation, to order our paper towels and our trash bags for here. So what's the difference between them ordering off of Amazon and me ordering from Hilliard? It's the same principle. So I don't understand why this was a big kerfuffle, like we need to order local. Well, we're not doing it now.
It will always be a kerfuffle.
I think it's
But you know what I mean?
respect,
Hilliard is a national corporation.
I fully understand it, and I fully understand.
And that's who you guys have had him using before. That's who you guys have had me using. So I don't understand the difference between us using Hilliard here and public health using Amazon.
Because that's just a policy that we have.
I think it's please do the best you can to use local. if
I do want all the
possible.
cleaning supplies, but not, I believe they were doing their cleaning supplies locally too, just not their paper towels and trash bags in their building.
We can have this discussion about Amazon later on. And it's probably not gonna, because what's gonna happen is eventually you won't have a job. They won't have a job because we don't have any local input. So,
So the
we
Hilliard
can have
would
that
do the same thing.
we can have that conversation at another time.
But I guess the intent of that is to do your best you can, and I fully understand. I mean, public health had an issue not too long ago and couldn't get printing supplies, whatever it was. And I said, go to Amazon. If you can get it here, get it from Amazon. I mean, they tried, and I knew that they tried. And just do whatever you got to do. If you got to do it, do it. But if you don't have to, if there's a different option, at least look at it. All right, we're gonna try that then. We're gonna post some phone numbers and see how it works out. And if it doesn't work out, I hope you let us know.
Anything else?
Good luck.
That's what I was thinking in my mind, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Thanks, Fran.
Yeah.
Have a good day. You're next.
Thanks. Thanks, buddy.
Are you on a crunch, Dan?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Time crunch?
depends on how late.
Okay. You're okay right now?
All right.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, on the Homeland Security, I think we broached it a little bit before when we talked about. Excuse me, and I apologize. It's cold. Now we broached it before concerning your training.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what the issue was is, and we needed to discuss. And I think we kind of did when we had that conversation about that's considered your training. And that the public is seeing that you're not here and we don't, when an emergency happens, why aren't you here? And so I think we just were under, how do we work that out? And, some conversations were that you already had backup for that and all that. So I'm not sure in reading this that we didn't cover some of those issues that we had so long ago.
Okay. So in my other plans, all that's covered. And on the 19th,
Right.
those are covered in those plans, in the continuity of operations plan. So I have a list of 5 people that are backups for me. And they all have proper training. And that's not the only training I get. I have, and if the board would like, I could give you my transcript, like my FEMA transcript of all the training that I have and all the training I've gone through, just from FEMA, not including all the training that I've gone through from the Red Cross. So a lot of the training that I do with the Red Cross is beneficial to my training here. So, but I have pages of training from FEMA as well. So that's not the only training that I get, when I deploy. So I just learn new things, and it also gives me the opportunity to practice and keep my skills, my knowledge, there when I deploy, because we don't get a lot of that stuff here. So
I think that there's a section in here that says completed work is reviewed in terms of net results. I think that's a great place for that opportunity for us as a board to understand what those net results are, because we don't have a clue. I mean, in our everyday operating, I'm trying to understand your your role and what you gained in furthering your role and
So, I mean, on a daily basis, I mean, I'm looking at plans, I'm going over plans. Like right now, I'm working on a 3-year training plan. And trying to think of different things to train and get every agency or department involved and going 3 years out is kind of a task. So that's taking a while. I'm almost done, and that's a requirement from the state. So there's different requirements from the state that I had to follow. Meetings, I try to meet with different stakeholders. I meet with the hospital monthly, if not multiple times a month. I try to go out in the county every once in a while and just make sure that even just the roads are. I mean, that's a road and bridge thing, but
Oh no, it's not. It's an ambulance. It's an
making sure that our resources can get where they need to be. When Barry came and we did our hazard mitigation, we have to have, there's certain things they want us to do, like put up lightning signs or get generators and stuff like that. So these are all of these things and timelines that we have to do. And then you throw in these power outages and different stuff. But the safety of the whole county relies on not just your first responders, but also relies on emergency management, especially when you have an emergency or disaster.
yeah.
So I think going back to that line there is just more contact with us.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I think that also has changed somewhat because we are seeing a lot more of you. And we are understanding. I mean, just if you gave us a monthly, this is what happened, this is what we did.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why I want to do that whole community-wide with doing my plans and having you emailing when I'm working on a plan, emailing not just the town of Upton's council and the city council, and you guys saying, these are the plans, you have any input questions, you want to add this, because I don't think of everything. And the LEPC, which is thriving right now, involved, you can make these plans even better. And then at the end say, hey, here you go. You don't have to approve them anymore, but hey, here these are, and discuss them, because you might not see, like you said, you might not see the emails or whatever, but being more transparent and being more approachable. So, and come up and say, hey, if we have an incident, this is what's going on, But that new job description is a lot more detailed than the old one. And it has a lot of what the state says. And that workshop that's today, I don't know what that's about. I have the state coming next month on March 17th.
Oh no, I told you this one.
No, they can't come till March
Oh,
17th.
well then we'll just.
So, but the state's coming March 17th. I have a meeting with the camp, the sheriff and Dan and I are going to the camp at 1 o'clock, so.
you keep breaking these dates with us, and we're starting asking
You
questions.
broke the first date.
Sure, whatever.
You make my day shorter, I like it.
See? I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah. So like I'm sorry, babe.
No, that's okay, so next month.
Next month, March 17th, yeah.
Yeah, I did March.
Okay.
That's
I don't even know if I'm.
Maybe
Wait a minute,
like in
that's
this
St. Patrick's Day.
last paragraph to this where it says emergency management will also assure that Weston County government has a continuity of government plan
Yep.
/ operations plan. I think that's a good opportunity for that other aspect we talked about of your operations plan is what you're doing and what you're training in and just ensuring that
Yep.
us as a county government has that understanding of your
Yeah.
doing.
I'll always let you know what I'm doing, and if you guys have questions, please reach out. And then the continuity of operations plan, the continuity of government plan is what and the courthouse emergency plans are all what we'll go through on the 19th, whoever's here, at least the department heads. And the continuity of government plan is what the courthouse will do in case the courthouse is not inhabitable, where we're going. I haven't got any feedback from anybody, but when I sent those out, other than the annex had some concerns, so we're fixing those. But we'll sit down, whatever, bring your own lunch, and there shouldn't really be any changes because we've gone through this before, but it's the 2-year cycle to go over there. Right now it's take what you need, the dire things you need for your office to work, to go to the annex. If we can't use the annex, then it's the convention center at the fairgrounds, and go. You may have to work with limited staff, you have to, whatever.
Well, I think the continuation needs to happen because things don't stay static in here. You've watched a couple of offices in here that have just wholesale changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is you're asking one person and they don't understand and they get left in the building and whatever. So I think the continuation, whether it's monotonous or whatever, just needs to continue. I use that word twice. But I think we fall into complacency and then we're going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. And then mine is, where am I going to go? You know, who are my chain of command? Who's going to be my backups, and where's my office going to move to? Where's my EOC going to move to? That type of stuff.
So it's my understanding that's the path you're walking down. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the plans and stuff we'll discuss, and then the courthouse emergency plans. And the only real changes I have is the fire drills.
I'd have them all the time. Or when you were in
Well,
second grade.
it was supposed to be once a quarter. But I want to put that on the department heads. Each department head will be responsible. So like one quarter, the clerk's office will be responsible. That way they have more buy-in and they're responsible. Then the assessor and district court, and then the treasurer, they're responsible for making sure the fire alarms are pulled.
Whatever trips you trigger.
So.
Marty's, I'm gonna jump on Marty's comment about seeing you more. It's been refreshing having you up here more because
No, I
I
appreciate
think
it.
it's important. I've had people in the past ask me, what's this guy do? And, you know, I can give him a 30,000 foot view on it, but if I have a better understanding and see you more often, well, he's up to this, you know, right now or whatever.
Okay.
It's been good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you do.
We meet them Wednesday, right? Or Thursday.
The 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done. The one thing is like when you leave town, let us know.
I can do that.
Give a heads up.
Okay.
I'm headed off to here.
Like,
Not everybody's on Facebook. I know you think they are, but they
like,
aren't.
West Gilbert, like, we don't
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely.
Maybe you need to put your phone number up on that.
I can do that.
I don't know.
I'll let the state know, but I can let you guys know. That's a good thing. Your turn, Dan. Anything else? I'm sorry.
Feliz
Good.
Navidad.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
I just wanted to be the first one. Wishing there.
You're early.
Thanks.
You're early.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey,
Don't
Dan.
forget it.
We don't?
Good deal.
Oh, all right.
You want to start with the vehicle?
Sure. Back in November, I don't know if you recall back that time, we asked or discussed about transferring our old 2015 Tahoe to the fire district because they needed another vehicle for to transfer meals and material and stuff like that out in the field, and it was, we have that one that would work well for them. It wasn't ready back in November to transfer. It is now, and we're just asking for you guys will entertain that.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's Tahoe, right? It's the Tahoe, right?
It's the Tahoe. It's the.
But-
It's caused us a lot of repairs and problems.
That Tahoe.
Yeah.
We'll strike that from.
Well, it's
Well, I mean, it's been fixed, and it's fixed, and they can keep maintaining it.
Mr. Chairman, the only reason I'm saying that is it's not necessarily applicable to Mallow or
Yeah.
to Road and Bridge. I mean, so its service, if we can extend its life, sounds like it's a great place to be at the fire district if it's doing what you're saying, the meals and the
Yeah.
water and whatever to drink.
Their material, the transfer,
Right.
people move, yeah.
Equipment, whatever.
Yeah.
That's whatever. I don't know. So I don't have an issue whatsoever. I mean, my only thing, I wasn't real sure that if it was a pickup that it maybe shouldn't go to somewhere else. But being the Tahoe, has no purpose for me.
And they're willing to finish stripping whatever
Yeah,
needs to be stripped out. They're mechanic and everything, so
yeah.
it'll be a benefit to us as well.
There's some more equipment that needs to get taken out, and then it's still set up with its emergency light, so if they need that, they can use that, but there's still a reassembly portion that they need to do in disassembly.
Nothing to do with tires.
No.
Okay.
But it'll speed that process up and be there. For
Tires
fire
always
season.
speed things up.
Well, that good point.
Thank you so much.
Need that in motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion properly seconded to transfer the Tahoe from the Sheriff's Department to the Weston County Fire District.
It's the 2015.
2015 Tahoe.
We still have a 21 that we need.
Yeah, let's make sure we designate.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. Credit card. So it's $885 for supervisor and command training to Daigle Log.
I had a little trouble reading it.
Okay.
This online course thing?
It is, it's an online course. They put out updated current training and law updates and how to handle new things that are coming up every month. So it's about 8 hours every month that they put out that is for command and supervisors. That's for three users. We did it last year, and that's just a renewal on it. And the best way they do it is through that
I've
invoice.
seen it. You've seen it?
I've seen it. I don't have a problem with it.
Is that a motion?
It sure is.
So moved. I seconded.
Get your movement straight.
Motion to approve the credit card pre-authorization request from Mr. Fields for the Sheriff's Department to pay $885 for supervisor and command training for the 2026 renewal. Is not available locally. Any discussion?
Thank you for bringing us a pre-authorization. Walk down that path correctly.
All those in favor of chairman's signature on the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Fairly painless.
Now you had to sit through and listen.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you. Hope you don't get a cold. Take vitamin C. Echinacea. Don't drink.
Anybody need a 5-minute break? We're pretty close to on schedule.
I would like those, please. Thank you.
We're gonna do a quick 5-minute break, Jim.
Okay.
Aye.
I can't even
Yep.
speak into
I just turned it off.
Never heard of it.
It feels like the air
No, we didn't
conditioner.
hear you. I know you nailed
My
it.
nose is cold, my feet are cold.
It's blowing cold air. My mom could not carry it.
No problem.
All right,
But they could dance.
road and bridge update.
And I can't do that either. Hi, Jimmy. Oh.
So I assume you guys got the paperwork on all 85. The visit was my time.
It's over. That's what I'm saying. It's over. Because we did that in 2013 or whatever it was. That was Don Hanson.
One more down, I guess.
Yeah. All the way up, I believe. Don't you think that goes all the way up?
I didn't go through all the legal descriptions on it.
Well, just for all intents and purposes, we already discovered that, and I think it goes all the way up to the water tank. And if it isn't, there's another piece that does with that same, and then the conversation is that they were not going to maintain it.
So I think it's still worth looking at that is whatever up there, because I looked, it doesn't touch any government ground that's not adjacent to the highway. I don't mind leaving it public access, but
Oh, I think that's what Mr.
the
Chairman.
understanding that it will never be maintained.
See, and I think that's always been the understanding. It never will be. It's always public access.
Appears to me basically it dead ends into the
State
Horton
land.
property. It then dead ends into state land. And it looks like a couple people either may or may not have agreement with Horton ownership, accessing a couple of little pieces of property up there through that is about the gist of it. So,
I think it just was left as public and call it a day.
yep.
Well, what do you guys think about the CDL training? Agreement on that?
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I would ask, did you look at that? The CDL training?
The agreement? Yeah, that was my draft.
Well, there you go. Then you looked at it.
Yeah.
I think if it gets you good employees that will stick around, I think it's a good start.
I do too. I'm all for it. If you need a motion, that can happen. Or if the chairman just wants to
It's
sit over
okay.
there, that's okay too.
Maybe, I don't know.
What?
The last word on page one.
License, oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna do it again.
Yeah.
If Michael put it in, I'm sure it is.
What was her question?
The very last word on page one.
It's the granting or,
That's the
And
legal,
after
that's
those
the
last-
legal, that's the legal term.
After those last words, we had to deal with that land description.
Yeah.
What's a here to into? What was that one? There's a lot of weird words on that one. What are we worried about?
we're okay.
First page, the last word, say that.
Licensure.
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 I mutilated.
That's to be licensed. That's a good word. Isn't it?
I'm gonna say I have a cold. That's been every day excuse all day. I have a cold.
I think it's good if we get qualified people to train, they'll come in and do it, get you help. That's what it takes.
Guess the next question is the blade.
Well, he always gives you the tough stuff last.
As far as, real quick on this thing, as far as him moving forward with, say he has two people jump at it, I know he could just use funds out of his road and bridge, but it might also, what does it cost?
The school itself is $5,000. And of course, we pay them in travel.
So that might be worth,
Mr. Chairman, let's cross that bridge when we get there.
okay.
I'll say, let's figure out the funds when it.
Well, I can cover it out of my budget. I don't think that's a problem.
And Mr. Chairman, what I would say is we would get a feeling of how many make and do the budget accordingly next time. Or separate it out.
Okay.
As its own line item.
Okay. Sorry. Blades.
I'm all for the cheaper one. But that's what I do. I don't drive them. I don't maintain them. So Jimmy, that's not always fair. But I'm always going to be on the conservative side, the cheaper one. Because I'd like you to have two, you can't have two, so here we go. But I think it's upon this board to ask your opinion of which the one that you have the better quote-unquote luck.
You know, it depends who runs it. Personally, I prefer a cat myself.
That was the cheaper one, right?
Yeah.
That cat wasn't cheaper. They allowed quite a bit more in the trade-ins, which surprised me.
No, I just thought the same thing.
You know, especially a cat allowing that much more for John Deere versus John Deere not allowing that much for
Yeah, I
John
was
Deere.
kind of surprised on that.
Yeah.
Yes, do we want to trade one in, two in?
I'd say do one.
Mr. Chairman, I would leave with the one, because I think you have to milk the one.
And I, with the discretion, which one you trade in, I would leave that to you.
What's that?
Whichever one you trade in, I would leave that discretion to you.
Yeah, you know better than I do.
Did they ever, the question was brought up by Marty at the last one about the lease option. Anybody ever get back to you on that?
Yeah, did you guys?
I must have missed it.
There were options for both of them.
Is it this 7-year deal?
Yeah,
Okay, I
Yes,
saw it.
yeah.
and I sent an email to the county to see if we could use the county road fund money toward a lease option if we stay in it until, buy it out and purchase it. We haven't gotten an answer yet. So I think that
I
maybe
kind of
no.
would say no. I would, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. I would almost say you'd have to have all the money out there and then be able to do
I
that.
know the wordage in the law says purchase.
Right, purchase. So I
But-
think you'd have to have it all and then you might be able to. But we don't have that much.
$525,000 instead of
Which
$450,000.
blade would you trade in?
Unit 15.
Which is the 6 or the 7?
What's that?
The year of it.
I think it's a 6.
The 6, okay, because that'll change our price then,
Yes.
if we take that one
Yeah,
off.
it was the lower trade-in.
How long would it take to get that one?
I believe he said July, probably at the earliest.
Really? Wow. That's fast.
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years waiting on that.
It was over a year.
Just in time for the snow.
Yeah.
See, we're holding on to snow because we don't have
Yeah.
that.
Now we'll take the 43,000 off of this one.
What's the life expectancy, do you know?
Whatever you
Well,
need to look at it.
we would hope at least 15 years.
This a brand new blade? Alright, cool.
Yeah, we take the one trade-in off, it's still, the cat still comes in cheaper by $4,000. And put the cat in at $500,230. The John Deere would come in at $504,903.87. I think then the one trade-in off. And the dealers are both good with just one trade-in.
I think so. This other thing I have tried contacting the owner of Lot 6 on Kenwood Drive, and I've gotten no answer. Do we want to try a certified letter?
I have to say, while everybody else is thinking about running for election and how to do that, we have a budget. We have a serious budget. We have a legislature that has weighed in, I think, on one vision of Wyoming, and I think it's very important to be thoughtful. And let me say, not a legislature, a joint appropriations committee. But that's the job I have. That's what I was elected to do, and I'm not. Yeah, when I always tell this story. So Dad told me to go water the chickens, and so I spent the entire morning figuring out a way I didn't have to carry the pails of water over to the chickens. And at noon, he said, "So, did you get the chickens watered?" And I said, "I got this really cool thing, Dad." And he said, "But I told you, go water the chickens." And I think I've got that job. Make sure that we get through this budget session. Thank you.
So back on the other one, I think we need to move to purchase that and take it out of depreciation. So if that was a motion, I guess we'll.
You want that to be a motion? Roger?
Sure, what?
I would make a motion to authorize Jim to purchase the 2026 Cat motor grader, amount of $500,230 even. The money to come out of the depreciation fund.
Second. Second.
Motion properly seconded to purchase the cat blade at $500,230 out of the depreciation account. Fund. Whatever. Discussion.
It's a line item.
The $100,000 we could take back out of the county road fund, is that in the depreciation account?
One more time, tell me what you just said.
The $100,000 a year we can set back out of the county road fund to purchase the blade, did that get moved into the depreciation account, or is that sitting in a different account?
I think,
So grab the budget book.
It's in its own, I think.
It's in its own,
Okay.
it'll have to be moved. I think there's 2 or 3 in there.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that maintain what it is, since we're taking it from the depreciation fund or the line item of the depreciation, allow that to stay because we are on track to get another one within X amount of years.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that would stay in that line item and then we take it out of the other, because we have it. And if it were really close, I would ask that it be removed, but since we're going to have another one come around, this budget year we'll take 100,000 out if we have enough to and put another 100,000 in.
So this motion that you just did, we're taking it out of the depreciation reserve and
Yes.
putting it into the line item to spend it.
Yeah, into the depreciation line item to spend it.
That we already have to, okay.
Not for the road and bridge one that we're allowed, but the regular
Right, 'cause we
depreciation line.
have a line item, so we're taking it
Yes,
out of
the top one.
reserve and putting it down, okay.
It has nothing to do with his line
Yeah,
item.
I wanted to get that
No.
clarified, to make sure we
Me
keep
too.
that 100,000 a year we've been setting back, that
Yes.
still
Yes.
sets there
Yes, okay.
for the next
Just
one.
wanted to clarify.
For the next one.
Depreciation fund reserve
So we'll have to have a budget.
into depreciation account.
Yes, because then we'll have to have a budget adjustment.
Okay, I'm in trouble because I understood that.
Oh, get out.
That money, we have that money, stay with, it's on the
We
next
should
one,
be
bites us,
banking it,
bites us next month.
yes.
Do you need a signature or anything, Jim, or can you sign it? So it's
I
still
don't
within
think
that,
there's-
I don't
you
think
really,
there's anything to sign.
you just
yet.
have to
I'm sure
tell them
they'll
yes.
Get the signature set or something on it.
okay. I just knew there was a 30-day kind of thing on that, but, okay.
Do we still have a
Any
motion?
other discussion besides you?
Besides me.
All those in favor of the motion on the table, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
He's got that look of, what do you want from me now?
He's out of here.
Yeah, get it while you can.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye, Jim.
Thank you very much. Thanks for doing what you do too.
Oh, real quick, one thing. Jim,
Oh, we do have something to ask
Yeah.
you about.
about the Sharon City Engineer.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Theoretically, it's a good idea. I watched their city council meeting, and I think they were under the impression that we were needing 10 hours a month, and that's, not what we're looking for. I mean, we really need project engineering is what we need, which, that can entail quite a bit of work, depending on what the project is. Most months, we don't need any engineering.
So, Mr. Chairman, because more or less, if you could find 10 minutes to talk to that gentleman and see if it would fit. It's just what's kind of handy is he's right here. And if you needed red line, like we were talking about earlier, you could just come up here and get a red line. And I think that's, I think it's pretty handy. We just don't have that case. It'd be very nice for your CMAC or anything.
So maybe that's a conversation you could have with the city council if we
Right.
did it and there's an hourly rate.
Right.
What that might be or something.
So thank you.
That was the other thing, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Especially when the gentleman said, he did bridges and he's a civil engineer. I don't know about bridges.
There's a meeting, Michael, at the annex tomorrow night at 4. Are you gonna be around? It's
Which-
dispatch.
Oh yeah, I'm usually always there when they're.
Okay, we're
I
coming.
think you said 4:30.
Okay.
Brush up on the statute for the dissolution of the board, if you would please, before
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
18.3.525.
Yeah, I got a copy of it. I'll give it to you.
Because we're a little uncertain of whether or not we have to, if that's the final hoorah, and it's just dissolution no matter what, or if there's an opportunity to dissolve that board and then potentially reappoint a new board to try to help solve the thing, or if there's options besides dissolving the district right out. I mean, if there's leeway within that statute to.
Well, Mr. Chairman, why don't you give him what your interpretation was so that on that one part of it, because he and I have kind of a,
And I could be wrong.
we're both on the, so if you would give him your idea.
Be down towards the section 4 at the very latter part of the statute. There's a after public notice. Do you see that? And an opportunity for public comment has been completed. The Board of County Commissioners may revise the plan for dissolution and shall disapprove or approve by resolution the plan for dissolution and termination of the created board of the court district. I wanted to know if that may gives us the opportunity to potentially go a different route besides absolutely dissolving the board, or dissolving the district,
Right.
or making that new board dissolve that district. So I don't want to put you on the spot
No.
here.
No, we want you to study.
It's interesting too because under Title IX there's like a mandatory process. Right? Title IX, but then that kind of conflicts with that. So. Yeah.
So, kind of what I was, that a board is allowed to throw a plan out. We don't like it, you try it. See, and understanding something to the effect of, well, this board wanted to put the money in here, and we say, no, that's not how it's gonna work, so try again. So he has an optimistic view that you can save, and I'm more of the, so we need your opinion, please.
Wait. All right. We also do have this quick too. The resolution 26-3. The amendment to the 25-26 budget. So, whereas pursuant to the Wyoming State Statute 16.4.113, the budget of the general fund may be changed by resolution of the governing body. Therefore, be it resolved that we are adding $16,053.79 to account titled General Building and Grounds Major Repairs for Anticipated Funds. So the other $3,000 is no longer in that resolution.
This is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve Resolution 2026-3, amendment to the 2025-26 budget.
Second.
Got a motion, properly seconded. to approve the resolution on the table. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Yes,
Well, it's just for
sorry.
record, it's ready, and it is to bring the money for repairing the event center into our budget so we can pay White's construction.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, old business. Resolution 2026-4. This is the one that had a lot of confusion, and Barry, you missed out on this. You were at the weren't at the last meeting, right?
I watched.
Oh, you did, okay. 26-4 concerning special appointment of deputy attorney, whereas the Weston County prosecuting attorney has agreed with the Natrona District Attorney's Office to investigate and otherwise proceed to make in their sole discretion a proper disposition of all potential matters in which the Weston County Attorney's Office has declared a conflict of interest. Whereas the Natrona County District Attorney's Office, at their sole discretion, provided the service free of charge to Weston County in exchange for the Natrona County Attorney's Office acting in their county or district free of charge. When conflicts of interest arise in their respective county or district, however, the Weston County Attorney's Office shall reimburse them for all travel costs and expenses. Wyoming Statute 18.3.302 authorizes set into action and it benefits Weston County. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners and for Weston County, Wyoming, that the Natrona County District Attorney and their respective duties or assistants be and the same are hereby authorized to act as special deputy attorneys in Weston County, Wyoming, when appointed by the Weston County prosecuting attorney to act as such in any particular case or matter. Not Niobrara County, Natrona County.
Where did anybody in Niobrara?
Well, there was some confusion, I think, in maybe a newspaper.
Yeah, that was.
Well, the paper said Niobrara.
Yeah.
I believe it did.
There's an N and an A.
Sorry?
I said there's an N and an A.
Yes.
So what's the, tell me what your opinion was last time. What is the confusion or the
I guess there's confusion is initially was, I guess, what exactly the Natrona County District Attorney's Office was delving into and on the aspect of how the conflict might arise, I guess, for our county attorney's office.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think I had any answers to, I don't think I have any answers to the question that I had. I guess what I would ask, if I'm allowed to, we had asked that you reach out to other attorneys. Did that happen?
It has not at this point, and I apologize. I'm not trying to make excuses. I was terribly ill for about a week and a half, so I was kind of walking around like a zombie. So,
I'm with you on that. There will be no judgment on that understanding.
my only other question I just did, and I'm not trying to be abrasive or anything. I just don't understand why it's any different than any other time conflict's been designated by the county attorney's office.
so there's not a conflict right now.
There is a conflict right now.
There is a conflict.
I can't look at it. I don't want to look at it. I need somebody else to.
So
There's things that still don't make sense to me. And so I'm not comfortable. I will still be a no, just because I have too many questions that probably should be under executive. And I'm more than willing to go through into that to ask those questions.
Would you feel comfortable doing it in executive session?
Like I said last time, I'm not sure under what provision in the open meetings statute it falls under. It doesn't seem to me to squarely fit under any of the 16.4.405.
Let me ask you this, may I, Mr. Chairman? It's an investigation, am I correct?
Yeah.
Do prosecuting attorneys investigate?
No.
Thank you. So what is pending is charges, am I correct?
It's an investigation by an outside law enforcement authority, and
You need a prosecutor to press charges.
you need a prosecutor to make a charging decision. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Is it possible that you would be able to make the charges and then recuse yourself?
No. Not in this circumstance. And I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that anyway.
That's fair, I'm asking. Mr. Chairman, I'm still going to be of the opinion. It's interesting to me of this choice. I would like to reach out again to see if there's another, just because what I've heard. I still have more questions, but.
Is there a specific reason that Natrona County is the one in this position? Did you request from Natrona County, or they're just offering?
I sent out we have a listserv with all the county and district attorneys, and I sent out an email to all of them saying this is the situation, and they were the only ones that responded.
And you will have those available if somebody should subpoena or send
Yes.
that email. Then I would like to have the other email too, that you asked another, if it's possible. Please.
In past cases, have we done resolutions for other county attorneys?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have several.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure it's been a blanket.
We do have a blanket with Crook and Campbell,
Yeah.
and then we did a blanket one with Goshen that involved a conflict a couple years ago. Trying to think if there's any more. So, not off the top of my head.
Mr. Chairman, could you answer me why it's blanket?
I believe just course of practice of what we've done.
So could we make it case specific?
We could.
Mr. Chairman, I would be more inclined for that.
I mean, I can do that. I was just trying to. Oh, what's the word? I was just trying to. It's an investigation phase right now. And I just don't want any public perception one way or another.
So, Mr. Chairman, let me ask one more. So, any of the other 21 could charge. Am I correct?
If you guys would appoint them as a special outside attorney.
How are you? Good.
I'm behind, sorry. So, I guess I'm questioning why there's a problem, because we have these agreements with other counties in Wyoming, why there's a problem with having an agreement with Natrona County.
In the discussion that we had last week, Mayor, Mr. Chairman, my concern was that Natrona County has gone on to the JAC and to the Joint Judiciary and said that he doesn't have enough time nor resources. So it's interesting that that would be the one that would choose when he has complained repeatedly that he doesn't have the attorneys nor the money to take on his own cases. And you can go look that up. So that was bizarre to me. Number two, that's why I asked to have the blanket letter go out again, asking if there would be another, because there's a reciprocatory to that. What are we putting our county attorney, if that county attorney doesn't have enough attorneys, are we setting up our county attorney to have to do things out of his realm that he won't have time for? Because it's reciprocatory.
Okay.
You are welcome to the JACs this fall. Last year, his name is Dan Itzen. He has made that statement. So.
Yes, ma'am.
Question for Michael. Michael, is this really time sensitive kind of thing?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I had asked that he would put that out. I understand his illness. I feel it in my head right now. If we could blanket that, if we could send that out.
And again, I'm not trying to make excuses. I was just kind of
You're not making an excuse.
floating along there for a second. So.
You're not, actually, I don't even see it as one because we fully understand.
We understand.
Okay. With every cell of our being, we understand. So, Mr. Chairman,
We can move on.
I would ask that you do that, please.
Mayor, we can visit a little bit too.
Okay.
Sorry for just Michael continuing on with this, but I think there's several different facets to understanding all of this. So. All right, moving on to new business. We have nothing. Is there something else?
You're snaking a jacket. Does that make anything to you?
All right, public comment. Yes, sir.
Chairman, just add to my prior public comment, for that festival tables, the town of Upton always buys 2 tables, because you purchase tables like $300 a table for your group to sit at. The town of Upton always does 2. I'm usually the only councilman there and a few staff, so we always have some legislators join us at our tables and things like that we invite. So I'm sure the commission would be more than welcome at town of Upton's tables too, to save you from having to purchase a table. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. We typically have plenty of room at our tables.
Good.
Did y'all catch that? Did you hear that?
How many children?
Yeah.
I'll have a few.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good idea, or a good thought, and it gives an opportunity to.
What are the proceeds from this go to?
This year, I think the chamber decided on
I think it's
the Upton Golf Course. Last year it was EMS and fire. This year
Excuse me.
was municipal, the golf course.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. They're working on a lot of updating irrigation systems and stuff like that. And they're running into, it's harder and harder to pony up a match for some grant money and stuff. So I guess the chamber decided that they'd be a good pick for this year because of their upcoming projects.
Small town shouldn't exist, remember?
what date is that again?
March 21st.
Can I say 28th or 26th?
21st, I thought you said.
21st.
Oh, sure, change your mind now.
Just a second.
We're gonna be all sitting at a table and there's gonna be
21st at 6. Yep.
Thank you.
You bet.
Who would? Maybe like a snow, never.
Thanks, Nick. Anybody else, public comment? Commissioner comment, Marty?
So here we go. So attended the WCCA convention. It's really our legislative meeting, and to put this out there, and I think the public should understand, because there's been some serious pushback of that these associations are a waste of taxpayer money. And I just want to explain that we go through bills, and I think WHAM probably does the same thing. WHAM being the Wyoming Association of Municipalities, and WCCA being the Wyoming County Commissioners Association. So we get a list of bills, and there's a bill committee, and they go through the bills that are county specific. So it's not necessarily every bill, all 600 bills that go through, but whatever would affect the county. And you can bring in bills as they come along that may have something to do with our budgets, our policies, and things like that. And so we all sit together as a group. So 23 counties usually are represented. It's always best if you have the most, all your people show up, but that doesn't always happen. We vote on those. And so we have discussions. And so Teton County is not the same as Weston County. And the Wyoming State Constitution says that every bill that's put out there has to cover all counties. You cannot pick a certain county, a certain municipality. Whatever statute is made has to fit all 23. And so what we do is I'll explain what we do is we talk as a group of how we can get those to fit all 23. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does work. We must come to is it 60% agreement? 60-65. It's 60%, I believe, and then we go county by county to, which is, there's the representative way we do it, and then there's the senatorial way that we do it. And so, one county, one voice. So that is a well thought out way that we allow, because the word is lobbyist. And so what he does is he goes as our voice to say what we support or what we don't support. And he lobbies for us. And everybody's using this as it's such a bad thing. The beauty behind it is that Weston County said, that doesn't fit with us. We don't go along. We can tell our association that it's not a good fit for us, and we can legislate, we can lobby on our own. And so this weird thing, but there's so much more that comes to that. I mean, I learned about data centers and a lot of misinformation that's put out about data centers. I learned about some really cool things, like if you have an industrial park, you don't have to go through the industrial siting permitting. So those are little tiny pieces of things that you pick up, kind of like favors at a parade. Just wonderful little things that you can pick up, and with networking and all of that. So I just wanted to reaffirm the benefit of those associations, and I think the mayor would too. So I just wanted to put that out, that was a good idea, and it's wonderful to have somebody see it, and I think they have their own representative too.
Yeah, and to add to that, there's a misunderstanding that public funds are going towards these lobbying efforts. That's not the case. The dues that the county pays to WCCA and the town of Upton pays to WHAM are not, those are in a different pot than the monies used for the lobbying efforts of the legislature. So public funds are not being used to lobby, which is something that's thrown around that's not accurate.
Thank you.
I would encourage anybody that ever has questions to take the time to sit in one of those, because it's quite an educational. I mean, you are allowed. The beauty is in this type of situation, there is no Republican, there is no Democrat, because what happens with the long arm of the legislature? Whatever they choose or pass, and the governor signs, we are required to do. And so that doesn't make, so if you're a Democrat from Teton County, you have as much say in what we have to talk about as the commissioner from Niobrara County. And we all take it into consideration and balance it and everything. And so I just wanted to put that out there. That, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's kind of discouraging. And also, Mr. Chairman, I would like to tour the fairgrounds at some point in the next couple of months or so that we can know what we're talking about out there.
Would you put that on the next, if we could do an afternoon tour out there?
I think we have some decisions to make a budget time, and I'd like to see what we're looking at.
We did the sheriff's department
Yes.
a month or two ago.
Very educational.
Or the detention center, I'm sorry. Let's do the fairgrounds.
Let's do the fairgrounds. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Huber?
No, that's it.
I was just going to say, after the mayor was here this morning, when Sherry Steinmetz was here and we were invited to the meeting over at the city council, I went, and it was educational to talk to Sherry, but I was more impressed that they were talking about the things they're doing at the city. They're really looking outside the box to try to get some things done and to change some things. And they're working with the city of Upton to do some of those things. And I just want to commend them for doing that. I think it's great that they're getting together and working together as much as they can and giving each other ideas. And I was really excited after I heard some of the things they were talking about. So it's a good thing.
Kudos to you guys.
Yes.
Awesome. Mr. Wagner?
I was down in WCCA too, and I got
Sick.
flu and sickness. My time got cut short. I really wanted to go see the data centers and stuff.
I didn't go either because
Reiterate what Marty said. I mean, it's very educational. Nobody's being involved with that. Or if they have questions, sit down with us and visit with us, because it's how that process goes. It's not for per county. It's for the whole state of Wyoming benefits from it. And then each county can on their own stuff that benefits them off the side. But for the big thing, it's how we as a group, WCCA works together. JV made that comment the other night at the country club. That his update on there is like he's amazed how many commissioners throughout the session are always in the Capitol building. That gets recognized. That's why we have such a good voice. The people involved with the local commissioners, one-on-one with the legislators down there. And that's all I got.
That's good. I don't have anything. Thanks for bringing up two things I forgot today. Other than that, the continuing the tours and
steel trap right here.
cave,
Pretty rusty.
Cave Mister.
Thank you.
All right.
You called me and my husband answered, and that was weird.
Yeah. We're going to have a brief executive session. If it would care to go into it.
Make a motion, go in executive session, 16-4-405A, II, reference personnel.
Second.
A motion properly seconded to go into executive session, 16-4-405A, II, personnel. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.